Good morning, Year 3. So, it's me, Miss French, with your English lessons for the next 2 weeks, and Mrs. Edwards will be doing the maths. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get a nice, clean, new page in your book and write the date. So it is Monday. It is the 22nd of February. Oh, I don't think I'm going to fit this on today. I'm trying something new with my iPad and my Apple Pencil to do the videos. And then you will need to underline it, but I haven't got a ruler feature, or I haven't found the ruler feature yet to do that, okay? So, once you have done that, you can sit back and listen for a little while. So, new term, new text. Our book for this half term, and I am so excited that we are doing this book, is called Anisha Accidental Detective, and it's by an author called Serena Patel. And I have loved reading this book. When I first saw this book last year, I said to Mrs. Edwards, we need to teach the Year 3s this book and use it in our English lessons because it is fabulous. So then, our first impressions, just looking at the front cover, what are your first impressions? Okay, so I will give you a few, but this can just be a talking exercise because if we're in school, we'd fill this page together. So I'll put a few down that I think to maybe give you a head start, and then you can go from there. So I think it's going to be a lively book because it's got bright colours. So I'm going to put lively, bright colours. I think the main character is called Anisha. It could be about pets, couldn't it? So maybe it's about pets. Okay, so what else do you think about this based on what you can see so far? So give yourself a couple of minutes to do that and then unpause and we'll carry on from there. So then, today is all about predictions, and I found these few things here just to give our brains a bit of a rejig, okay, to think about what they are. So this one up here that I'm going to number, I'll do it in bright green, number 1. Oh, it's not very good, number 1. It says a prediction is a guess about what will happen next based on clues from the story. So we can make a prediction before we read, during our reading, and after our reading. And today we are going to be doing the before reading part. So we're going to look at the title and cover and what we think the story is about. Okay, so a prediction is a good guess about what will happen in the book based on clues in the pictures, text, and our own ideas. And that is the really important part, okay? So on this one called number 2, this is the really important part. So your own ideas. Okay, so it's not just I can see a cat on the front cover, I think it's about a cat. I want your own ideas as well. You've got brilliant imaginations, so we need to use them. And then this one down here is number 3. A prediction is a guess that you make based on the clues in the text. For example, Jax's team is playing poorly, so my guess is they will lose the soccer game. Okay, so that's their own ideas. So they know that Jax is playing poorly, but they already know that if a team isn't playing very well, then they're likely to lose, aren't they? And then part number 4 is a bit like a sum, and we've done this in reading skills before. So you use clues from the story, add it to what you already know, and then you get your prediction. Okay. So, based on the front cover, I predict. So you could use that to start, okay? So, let's go back up to the front cover. Based on the front cover, I predict that the main character is called Anisha, and she's going to become a detective by accident because it's called Accidental Detective. So I'm not going to use that starter. I'm going to use I predict, okay? So, I predict the main character, and if you get to an end of a line, remember you can put a hyphen, character is called Anisha. Getting that because in there, because her name is in the title. Okay, so then, you can then extend that. I want 3 or 4 sentences. I didn't want to change all of that. That's my fault. There we go. Right, so I want 3 or 4 sentences. I'll write it here to remind you. Okay, 3 or 4 sentences. So, now let's look at the back and our first impressions again. So we're going to annotate this. So you're going to pause the video and have a look. I'm going to read you the blurb. Is everyone else's family this weird? Help. My super dramatic Auntie Bindi is getting married tomorrow and she's having a mega meltdown. But shh, I've just found a ransom note pushed through the letterbox saying Uncle Tony, Bindi's husband-to-be, has been kidnapped and will only be freed if the wedding is cancelled. I have to keep this a secret, otherwise it'll be panic central. I guess it's up to me, Anisha, accidental detective, to save the day. So then, have a think about how your prediction might change now. So, I'm going to say she doesn't fit in with her family because she thinks her family's weird. So that's what I've inferred from that. So she doesn't fit in. Okay. So we know she's a detective now, don't we? Because it says she's got to save the day. Okay. We know that somebody's been kidnapped. Okay, so have a think about what else you predict now from the back cover. So moving on, your next activity is based on the back cover and the blurb, I predict. Is there any other picture clues, do you think? That same character's there, but there's another new character we're introduced to. And that same pet's there as well. So based on the back cover and blurb, I predict, and I'm going to say, I'm going to use that. So let's pretend I've written that. Based on the back cover and blurb, I predict Anisha will accidentally become a detective and help find her Uncle Tony. Okay. Again, I want at least 3 or 4 separate sentences and trying to get those conjunctions in, okay? So that's what I'm expecting from you today. Once you have done that, you can stop this video and go and listen to the one where I read you chapter 1 and you can see whether or not your predictions are true. Make sure you send your work straight through to me and Mrs. Edwards so we can have a look at your predictions and see if you were right as well, okay? Have a lovely, lovely day and I'll be back tomorrow with another English lesson.